This material is covering millions of buildings around the world right now, and most people have no idea what it is. But here's what's scary. If it's manufactured or installed even slightly wrong, that beautiful facade you're looking at could start cracking, warping, and crumbling within just a few years. So before you approve a single GRC piece on your next project, watch this. GRC stands for glass fiber reinforced concrete, a cementitious composite material reinforced with glass fibers, and it is considered one of the most widely used materials for finishing building facades. It is commonly used to produce cornices, decorative columns, window surrounds, architectural ornaments and panels, and finally domes. GRC is composed of white cement, which allows flexibility in coloring, along with fine silica sand with a purity not less than 96%, water, and polymers, or chemical admixtures that improve workability and accelerate setting, such as Adabon, Sika latex, and F1000. And finally, most importantly, the glass fibers. These fibers are the secret behind GRC's strength, as they act as reinforcement, much like steel rebar does in concrete. The difference is that in GRC, the reinforcement consists of glass fibers distributed throughout the entire mix. These fibers provide flexibility and tensile strength, making the material highly resistant to cracking. Now let us understand how GRC is manufactured. It is cast in molds made of GRP or silicone. However, GRP molds are preferred because they produce the required shape with high accuracy and minimal errors. There are several manufacturing methods, the most common of which are the spray method. This is the best method, where the mix along with the fibers is sprayed in layers inside the mold, using an air pressure gun, then compacted with a special roller. The thickness of the piece in this method ranges between 10 and 25 millimeters, while the fiber content ranges between 4% and 6% of the total weight. The premix method. In this method, the fibers are mixed with the mix first, then poured into the molds. This method is mostly used for smaller pieces, because its strength is relatively lower compared to the spray method. The fiber content also drops to around 3% of the weight. After learning about the most common manufacturing methods, the most important question remains: what made GRC spread so widely in modern building facades? First, significantly low weight compared to any other finishing material used on building facades. It is 70% to 80% lighter than traditional concrete. This means lower load on the building and its foundations, and it makes transportation and installation much easier. Second, high flexibility, which allows it to be formed into any required design or shape, such as curves, Islamic ornaments, and 3D panels. For this reason, architects love it very much. Third, its small thickness, which starts from 10 millimeters and reaches up to 25 millimeters. Fourth, its resistance to cracking, because the glass fibers significantly reduce microcracks and increase bending and tensile strength. Fifth, fire resistance, as GRC is a nearly non-combustible material, which is another reason for its use in many facades. Sixth, resistance to weather conditions, as it withstands sun, rain, and humidity. Seventh, it can last for several decades, but on the condition that it is manufactured, installed, and maintained correctly. Eighth, the possibility of painting it with any type of paint and any required color. Wonderful, isn't it? But wait, let me take you on a quick tour into its dark side, because GRC has disadvantages that, if ignored, could turn your architectural dreams into a nightmare. First, manufacturing problems. Any small defect in its manufacturing can lead to undesirable results. The colors of the pieces may differ, cracks may appear, warping and weakness may occur, and they may start to crumble after several years. Therefore, this requires performing many tests at every stage of manufacturing. Second, high cost. GRC is relatively more expensive compared to traditional plastering or painting. This is due to the cost of the steel frame, manufacturing expenses, and skilled labor, making it a less attractive economic option for some projects with limited budgets. Third, brittleness during transportation and installation. Due to its relatively thin thickness, GRC may break or crack if not handled carefully during transport, lifting, or installation. Fourth, the need for skilled craftsmen. It cannot be installed easily like some other materials. It requires specialized and skilled technicians to install the steel frame with precision, level it accurately, and adjust the joints tightly. Otherwise, problems will appear in the facade after execution. Fifth, higher cost in complex designs. If the architectural design contains many or highly complex details, GRC may become more expensive than some other traditional solutions. These disadvantages we have mentioned can be avoided, and the key word is correct installation. So, how do these decorative pieces become an integral part of the building's structure? Let's learn the installation steps in detail. When installing lightweight GRC pieces, lower anchors are first fixed under the piece to act as a temporary support base during installation. Then other anchors are fixed using expansion bolts inside the GRC body itself, which are responsible for fixing it to the wall, whether concrete or masonry. And here, it is worth mentioning an important note. The distance between each anchor and the next typically ranges between 60 and 90 centimeters, depending on the weight and dimensions of the GRC piece. After finishing the anchor installation and securely fixing the GRC piece to the wall, the temporary lower anchors that were acting as support during installation are removed. If the weight of the GRC piece exceeds 100 kilograms, anchors alone are not sufficient for bottom support. Instead, steel brackets or angles are used, embedded inside the GRC piece, to provide maximum safety. After that, the visible parts of bolts or anchors are cut, then treated using materials such as secador or epoxy, followed by fine sanding to achieve a smooth, uniform surface free of defects. Then comes the stage of treating the joints between GRC pieces. First, a backer rod or foam is placed inside the joint. Then it is filled with a flexible material such as Ceticol 3000 or Sikaflex, which allows expansion and contraction resulting from temperature changes, thus preventing cracks. Conversely, some architects prefer to leave the joints untreated to give a specific aesthetic appearance, a shadow line. After that, surface defects are treated using materials such as Chemexite 200 in areas of breakage, anchor points, and joints, then sanded after drying. Finally comes the final finishing stage, where we apply acrylic paints resistant to water and ultraviolet rays from well-known companies such as Jotun, GLC, Sipes, or Skip. After finishing the installation, you must ensure that the installation has been done correctly through several steps. It must be ensured that the anchors and brackets used comply with specifications in terms of diameter and rust resistance. The distances between anchors, which depending on the weight and dimensions of the pieces, and ensure they are executed correctly and safely. After installation, we must ensure the stability of the pieces and that there are no cracks or damages in them. Ensure that the edges and corners of GRC pieces are sharp, straight, unbroken, and aligned perfectly with adjacent pieces. Ensure that the width of the joint between GRC pieces is constant and not narrow in one place and wide in another. Verify the vertical and horizontal alignment of the facade. By using a laser level, ensure that the grooves, or drip grooves, are in one straight line between adjacent pieces, not zigzag or misaligned. Finally, ensure that the actual installation on the facade matches the required shop drawings. Then comes the inspection of the treatment and finishing stage, through ensuring that anchor cutoffs are properly trimmed and treated, with no cracks or defects, and sanding treated areas to blend with the overall surface. Reviewing repairing of any breaks, cracks, or fissures in the mold body. Ensuring that joints are treated correctly in a flexible way that allows expansion and contraction due to temperature changes. Ensuring that the joints are tightly sealed against water and that there are no leakage points or insulation problems, with the possibility of conducting a water test when needed. Ensure the quality of the paints, the consistency of the colors, that they are free of defects, and that they are resistant to weather conditions. After reviewing the installation steps in detail, we should pause for some important notes. First, one of the most common mistakes is believing that GRC is the same as gypsum, but this is completely incorrect. GRC is a material based on cement, sand, and glass fibers, so it is a concrete material, not a gypsum one. Second, it is important to know that GRC does not necessarily have to be white. Colors can be added to it during the manufacturing stage, so it can be produced in any required color. Third, GRC units can be manufactured in very large sizes. However, as the size and weight of the unit increase, the installation process becomes more complex, requiring stronger supporting solutions and higher accuracy in execution. Fourth, the presence of joints between GRC pieces is not optional. It is a very important element to allow natural expansion and contraction due to temperature changes, protecting the facade from cracks and damage. Fifth, the quality of glass fibers used is a critical factor in the final product quality. Therefore, they must be AR glass fiber, meaning alkali resistant. to ensure durability inside the cementitious environment without deterioration over time. Sixth, some GRC pieces come with a pre-installed steel frame embedded in the back of the piece, cast together with the mold during manufacturing, intended to facilitate installation. Seventh, GRC is cast inside molds, and to remove the piece easily without sticking to the mold is coated with insulating materials such as Separol before casting. Eighth, drip grooves on the GRC, besides their aesthetic shape, have a very important function. They direct rainwater away from the facade, thus protecting the building facade from the effects of runoff and soiling.